Coming up on Cardinals Insider.
I've loved baseball since I was a kid. I still remember my first Little League practice.
We asked the Cardinals why they love baseball. Plus,
I am absolutely happy to be here.
Hear from Cards alum and my former teammate, Dmitri Young. And later,
congratulations on an amazing career.
A tribute for Mike Shannon from acting superstar Jon Hamm. Those stories and more ahead on Cardinals Insider. Welcome to Cardinals Insider. I'm Ozzie Smith. Baseball is a beautiful sport. It bridges generations and regions. We all have different reasons for loving the game, so we lead off today's show by learning what this current Cardinal roster loves about baseball.
I've loved baseball since I was a kid. I still remember my first Little League practice and getting in my mom's minivan and saying, "Mom, I love baseball."
It's just the sport I fell in love with from a really young age.
I just grew in love with the sport, my dad got me into it, and I just love doing it.
It was something my brothers we grew up on it. We would always play baseball in the backyard.
I've always loved it. It's simple and elegant, but it requires a lot of different skill sets.
Part of it is being a part of a team and being able to see all the parts work together for that common goal.
It's such a great metaphor for life. There's so many life skills you learn. There's the dealing with failure, success, teamwork, humility, just all these great things. And I think baseball pulls that out.
The process, dealing with failure, relationships, the guys you meet, and just being able to go out there and compete.
Just a competitive aspect, being able to get out there every day with the boys, competing against other squad on the other side of the diamond is kind of, it's like an adrenaline rush, really.
The competition, the intensity of the game, how hard it is, how humbling it is, all those little things I love.
I love baseball because every single day is a clean slate. It's a new opportunity.
You can go over, but once you hit a homer, it just takes everything away. It's the best feeling in the world.
The other part about it is you see guys of all different sizes playing this game.
And the different capabilities of each type of player and body type, I just think everything's a surprise and a drama. That's why I love it.
I don't think a lot of people understand the ins and outs and little competitions that go on within the game, the strategy behind everything.
When I'm up there hitting, it's just a one-on-one between me and the pitcher, and it's just a competition of who has what it takes, and there's nothing that beats that rush of adrenaline when you're stepping up to the plate.
As a pitcher, you get that pitcher-batter, one-on-one feel, but you've also got your team behind you. You've got someone backing you up. There's a lot of good camaraderie with the guys. It's fun.
A lot of people want to talk about it as a slow-paced kind of sport, but there's a lot of things going on, especially between the pitcher and the catcher.
Going out there, every pitch is different, every situation is really different, every feel is different. So just the ability to just press that reset button regardless of what happened yesterday, living in the moment and kind of looking forward is what I love about the game so much.
I think one thing I really like about the game of baseball is you can never perfect it. And that's something that every baseball player can say. You can't ever master the game. You can get really good and be the best in the game, but you can never really master every single skill. So each day you're chasing that perfection, but really you're just becoming the best you can be at the sport. That's something that is challenging and fun about the game.
It's an unbelievable job. So many people, I'm so fortunate to play it. Not obviously, there's only been maybe 20,000 major leaguers ever in the history of the game, and to be one of them is special. And I want this to last as long as I can, so I'm gonna give everything I have.
I love sports in general, baseball being my favorite, but try to encourage my kids and other kids to play is not because you can be a professional ball player, which is awesome, but more because I think it just prepares you for life and everything that life will throw at you.
Straight ahead on Cardinals Insider.
I got informed by my high school principal that I was the number 4 pick overall in the '91 draft.
Dmitri Young stops by the Cardinals Insider desk. Stay with us. Also coming up,
we're doing everything we can to keep everyone healthy.
The Cardinals team physicians talk about treating major leaguers and weekend warriors alike. Dmitri Young played 13 seasons in the big leagues. His career launched here in St. Louis during the 1996 season. That year saw the Cardinals break a playoff drought, and the former first rounder had a big moment in the league championship series.
The Cardinals' first-round draft pick in 1991, he broke into the majors with St. Louis in 1996. Welcome back to Busch Stadium, Dmitri Young.
He was a fan favorite in the late 90s, and we are pleased to have him here at the ballpark, Dmitri Young. Dmitri, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you, Emily. I am absolutely happy to be here.
So I heard both you and your brother were drafted in the first round, and you were big leaguers. What do you think led to that?
A father that was driven and a mom that totally supported everything that he was doing to get us ready for, baseball. My brother and I were the first brothers that were drafted in the top 5, which since got eclipsed by the Upton brothers, who were number 2, and then BJ was number 2, and then Justin was number 1 overall. But, that's a nice honor to have.
Walk me through the emotions the night you were drafted.
Well, when I got drafted, it was before MLB Network or anything like that, and got a phone call. But I actually got a phone call from the school I attended, that was Rio Mesa out in Southern California, and it was like, is Dmitri Young home? And I was like, yeah. And there was the principal calling, and it was like, yeah, got a call from the St. Louis Cardinals to say that you was drafted. We were waiting for the phone call at home. We had like a little draft party at the house. A couple of my friends, parents and stuff were there, and I got informed by my high school principal that I was the number 4 pick overall in the 91 draft.
Wow. So you moved between first base and outfield. What was the biggest adjustment doing that?
I think the real adjustment was just getting into work, going from position to position. Because when I was drafted, I was a shortstop, and they immediately said, you're done at shortstop. And I moved to third base, and I played a season in the Midwest League in Springfield, Illinois, made a whopping 42 errors, but I was 18 years old. What was I supposed to do? Be an expert? No. So they moved me over to first base and then later to the outfield. And when I got to the big leagues, I shifted around between the 2 places, and then they traded for Big Mac man, Mark McGwire, and that's how I became a Cincinnati Red. But during that process, me learning all those positions, when I got traded to Cincinnati on top of being a switch hitter, they was like, this guy can play everywhere at any time, because I was a switch hitter and played numerous positions. So the versatility really helped out my career.
96 was a big year for you. Along with that, you hit that triple, drove 2 runs in during the National League Championship. Walk me through that.
All right, that was a good story right there, because I was going up to face Denny Nagel, and I faced him before in Atlanta and flew out deep to the outfield. And so thinking I was going to go face him, they made a pitching change and brought in Greg McMichael, who was a sinker baller, a right-handed sinker baller. So remember, I was a switch hitter, so I went back to the dugout thinking I wasn't going to hit, and Tony La Russa's going, what are you doing? And I was like, well, they brought in this righty. It's like, you forgot you're a switch hitter. And I go, oh, yeah. And then I just totally went blank. I didn't know anything about this guy, but lucky for me, Ronnie Gant played with Greg McMichael, and they're good friends, and he was like, yeah, he has a sinker ball that'll run away from you. If you try and pull him, you're going to roll over. And so I went up there, and if anybody's seen my career, I'm not a patient hitter. I always swing at the first pitch. But in this case, I saw the first pitch, and I saw the run from it. It was a nice little 2-seamer, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to look for my pitch. So worked him to, 2-0, 2-1, and then he threw that pitch again, and then that's when I hit the ball to left center and somehow rolled my way to third base.
Well, Dmitri, thank you so much for your time. That's all for today here at the Insider Desk, and we'll see you next time.
Still to come,
We really take care of people who are active and even people who are not.
they treat the Cardinals, and they can treat you too. A discussion on sports medicine with the Cardinals team doctors. Mercy provides medical care to Cardinal players and Cardinal fans alike. We hear all about injuries on the ball field. Some of those same injuries happen to non-major leaguers too. Our Katie Brandenburg caught up with the team physicians to talk sports medicine and treating the needs of every type of patient.
It takes more than the team on the field to keep things running smoothly here at Busch Stadium, and we have the opportunity to talk to two of the Mercy physicians doing that behind the scenes. I'm joined by Dr. Brian Mahaffey and Julian Lippy, and we're going to talk a little bit about what they do here at the stadium and outside. So tell us, what is your role here at the stadium?
Our job is to support the performance staff and to be part of the performance staff and to make sure that we're doing everything we can to keep everyone healthy, prevent injuries as best we can, and then to take care of injuries to get them back on the field quickly, safely, better than they were before, and then be able to maintain that long term.
And even though I know these guys are keeping you busy, you're not just here at the ballpark all the time. So tell me what it is that you do outside of the stadium.
So I'm one of the orthopedic surgeons who's helping take care of the team, and I have a practice with Mercy, and I do sports medicine predominantly, and I see patients of all abilities and from all backgrounds.
Our clinic is sports medicine orthopedist, and we really take care of people who are active and even people who are not. But we have therapy right there, and we take a team approach. We look at performance, we look at the full body aspect of therapy, the primary care sports of taking care of things non-surgically, but with Dr. Lippy and our partners, we have the surgical capabilities to take care of any sports and orthopedic related injury.
What are some of those injuries you guys are talking about?
We take care of concussions, we take care of ACLs, rotator cuff tears, all the way to osteoarthritic changes quite often.
So I heard you mention the rotator cuff, and we know that that's an injury we see a lot in baseball and outside of it. What exactly is this injury?
So the rotator cuff is part of the shoulder, that's what we're talking about, and it is a very complex process, but the shoulder is a straightforward, think of it as a ball and socket joint, but the socket is very flat. So, I always tell patients, if you think of it like this, and it can slide around because there's not a lot of bony stability to the joint. So the rotator cuff is muscles that turn into tendons and surround that joint and keep it centered and provide that stability so that when we move our arms in different positions, it doesn't slide around.
Okay, so we know that probably is going to happen on somebody like a pitcher, right?
Yes.
And how would you know if that's what's going on?
The symptoms that patients may feel, a lot of times they complain of arm pain. So you may think that your arm is hurting, and it's coming from your shoulder. They talk about arm pain on the side, they talk about pain in the back of the shoulder, sometimes even pain down the front. They think it's their biceps, and a lot of times that's coming from inflammation of the rotator cuff. Pain with sleeping a lot of times. They wake up in the middle of the night. Sometimes pain with reaching for things such as overhead, or a lot of patients will come in and say, I reach into the back seat of the car, and every time I do it, my shoulder hurts. I can't get my purse off the side of the seat. So these are common things that we hear that are kind of triggers to us that the rotator cuff may be responsible for that.
With the Cardinals, a lot of it is repetitive overuse thing that we can do preventative things for, but it's a very common thing that we see. And really getting the shoulder linked into the rest of the body is vital, because it's not by itself. As I tell people, if you have a bad tire in your car and you get it fixed, most of the time you better fix your alignment too, otherwise you're going to get another bad tire. Mercy.net, we have multiple offices. We are building a new building just south of the main Mercy Hospital. That'll be a 5-story multi-specialty clinic, but mainly aimed towards orthopedics and sports medicine.
So whether you are an avid athlete or a weekend warrior, you can receive this same world-class care the Cardinals get through the Mercy physicians. Just head to mercy.net for more information. For Cardinals Insider, I'm Katie Brandenburg.
In just a bit,
You make baseball better just by listening to you.
Jon Hamm has some words for Mike Shannon. Hear more when Cardinals Insider returns. You never know who you might see on any given night at the ballpark. There's famous faces on the field, but the seats can also be populated with influential and recognizable people. Here's some of the famous faces who've passed through Busch this season.
I'm joined here with country music superstar Sam Hunt.
We're just here tonight to hang out and watch the game.
What up, Cardinal fans? First off, I want to wish all the mothers in the building a happy Mother's Day, and I want to wish a very special happy Mother's Day to my own mother one time. What better way to celebrate watching the Cardinals game one time?
Please welcome Blues assistant captain Braden Shen, the 1991 PGA champion, the 1995 British Open champion, and one of the biggest Cardinals fans ever, John Daly. He wants the catcher to come closer. We ought to put it on a tee for him. Whoa, there he goes into the stands. Whoa! He's a native son, a big Cardinals fan who carved his own path to success on the ice. Let's hear it for St. Louisan Pat Maroon. Hey, Cardinals fans, please join us in welcoming former Cardinal, Big City, Matt Adams.
Mike Shannon will soon sign off for the final time. All year, we've been hearing tributes to Mike. Today's comes from St. Louis native Cardinals fan and internationally known actor, Jon Hamm.
Mike, it's Jon Hamm here. Congratulations on 50 years in the booth. Congratulations on an amazing career, both behind the mic and on the field. You make baseball better just by listening to you. Make being a Cardinals fan a lot more fun. Thanks for always being nice to me, even when I was just Joe Buck's weird little friend who would come up to the booth and try to steal free food. And thanks for all the memories over the years. The word unique gets thrown around a lot, the word legend gets thrown a lot, but you, sir, are both. Congratulations, we love you. I'm gonna set the over-under on people using the phrase, "Old Abner has done it again" at 35 tonight, and I'm gonna take the over. All right, congrats. Go Cards.
Still to come, you ask, I answer. It's Ask Ozzie after the break. It's time for this week's Ask Ozzie. Drew in Nashville, Illinois asks, what makes you love baseball? The game within the game. You know, most people who come to the ballpark, they see the things that happen right before you, but there are little things that go on behind the scenes, like stealing signs or putting on hit and runs. And all of the signs that go with the game make it very interesting. It's a great way to communicate without necessarily speaking, so that makes it fun. And of course, the on-field action is always exciting. The most exciting play to me was always turning the double play because it was so improvisational. So I love baseball. I love the little intricacies, and it keeps getting better. Thanks for the question, Drew. If you want to submit a question, head to cardinals.com/insider and click the Ask Ozzie tab. There's more still to come here on Cardinals Insider, so don't go anywhere. Cardinal games are a summertime tradition, and while the bases are still 90 feet apart, the way you get into the game is changing. Tickets are now delivered exclusively through the MLB Ballpark app. And for instructions on how to get your digital tickets, visit cardinals.com/ballpark app, and you'll learn how to download, share, and use your tickets all in one stop. Again, for all your ticketing needs, visit cardinals.com/ballpark app. This season brought fans back to the ballpark and added a new superstar to the lineup. Adam Wainwright dazzled despite turning 40, and his good friend Yachty announced 2022 would be his last. Needless to say, a lot happened in 2021. Here's some of the biggest moments in this week's Redbird Reels.
St. Louis, Nolan, an opening day home run. Nolan Arenado. And the cheer is for their leadoff batter, Colton Wong. Like that, just like that, a mammoth blast off the bat of Carpenter. Yadier Molina becomes the first catcher in Major League history with 2,000 games caught with one team. Carpenter with a drive, 3-run bomb, Carpenter. Deep left field, down the line, the Cardinals lead, home run Molina. Tip of the cap to the crowd.
O'Neal racing back, makes the catch.
the game. Relay to the plate. It is there and not in time. The tag back got him.
You want to win it right here in the bottom of the ninth. Deep right center field.
Goldie wins it.
Yadier Molina drives in the winner in the bottom of the ninth. The Cardinals have swept the Marlins. Arenado, bare hands, throws to first base. He got him. Unbelievable.
Gone. It's off the foul pole. An absolute rocket. That's 24 straight saves to begin the career of Alex Reyes without a blown save. Bader back at the wall. He's got it. Harrison Bader. He robbed him.
Adam Wainwright with the complete game and a shutout.
Get up, baby. Yes, sir. 3-run home run by Tyler O'Neill.
Newbar goes back. He's at the track. He makes the catch. He makes the catch. Ball game, Cardinals.
Albert lifts it out to deep left field. He's done it. In St. Louis, he would always rise to the occasion. Unbelievable. And that is hammered down the left field line. It is gone. It's a line shot homer. Yachty's pumped up.
Arenado swings and hits a drive to left field. It's a goner. A 2-run homer for Nolan Arenado.
Gone. Tyler O'Neill launched into center, and the Redbirds have the lead in New York.
That's it for today. You can watch on this station each week or catch full episodes on YouTube. Plus, we're always online at cardinals.com/insider. Until next time, I'm Ozzie Smith, and I'll see you next week for our season finale.